So it is now 3 a.m. in the morning. Today is Thursday. It's gonna be about a 10-hour ride to Flight Archery Nationals, which is in Bonneville, Utah. And since it's gonna take a really long time there, we'll probably get there in the afternoon, just in time for a practice round. So we're approaching Wendover, Utah right now. It's that city you can see right below the mountain. The city is pretty small. There's only about like 2,300 people that live here. And the Bonneville Archery Range is actually 10 or 15 minutes past here. But yeah, here in Wendover is where we'll be staying in our hotel. And right now we're going straight to the competition field, but when we come back, this is where we'll be staying. So as you can see, it's super flat out here. There's like nothing out there, which is great for flight archery because you want to see your arrow stick to the ground and you want to be able to find your arrow. And if there's stuff on the ground, it's going to be really hard to see where that went. So this is a great place to have a flight archery competition in the salt flats of Utah. And after 10 hours, we are finally here. So this is what it looked like when I first got there. They were setting up the tents for equipment checkup, and you could see a couple other people who'd shown up for practice as well. It was kind of hot and dry, but one interesting thing was that the ground was a super interesting texture. It was almost kind of crunchy. And when I looked around, there was nothing else there. It was literally flat. And there were about 3 or 4 lanes, I think, open for shooting. And they were placed really far apart so that you could still shoot without worrying about the other person kind of hitting you with your arrow. So the first thing they did during equipment checkup was check my bow poundage. So they measured the longest arrow that I was going to shoot first, and then it turned out to be 26 inches, which was my draw length basically. And they would measure it until at that point where the arrow fell off the arrow rest. That's where they would measure the poundage at. Now you can see my form looks pretty funny because I'm trying to get that 45-degree angle to make the arrow fly farther. So I had to adjust my form a little, like I had to bring my legs down a bit and kind of shift my weight too. So after I shot my arrows, we went out to look for them. We walked a good 200-300 yards out there before we found them. It was hard to see them at first, but I learned that if you crouch near the ground, since the ground is completely flat, you can see your arrows sticking up from the ground. And they're usually in a group near each other, so it's easier to find then. Thanks for watching part 1 of my vlog to 2020 Flight National Archery Competition, and make sure to stay tuned for the second part of the video.